All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again, and we've got Mr. Donovan Sharp with us today. We're going to be talking about the upcoming event, which I will be speaking at, which is the Conference of Masculine Excellence.
Yes,
it's going to be in Miami on, what are the dates again, Donovan? I should know this.
Miami 19th.
May Excellence.
Sorry about that. May 19th through May the 22nd. Those are the dates. 17 days from today, my friend. So it's coming up on us quick.
Yes. So, well, first off, blatant plug. If you guys want to get tickets to it, the link is in the chat.
There you
go. Below, so you can obviously get your tickets through my link. If you want to support me, you want to support my channel as well.
Absolutely.
You can actually get to see me live and in person speaking at this event as well, along with a host of other guys in the Red Bull space, including obviously Donovan himself.
Absolutely.
And, maybe I'm going to bring up the page real quick just so everyone can see.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
The list of speakers that we've got going on here, because it's honestly it's quite a, and where are we at? Dang it, Chrome tab. That's what I'm looking for. It's honestly like a really impressive lineup. Like,
yeah,
let's look at this, right?
Yeah,
Rollo Tomasi, who everyone like always wants to see live, because he gets mobbed whenever he goes anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Ed Lattimore. I've met Ed before, met him in person. I've been a student of Ed's work for a long time in terms of like his Twitter like writing and how he
is brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant, man. I mean, I was actually talking to him about this the other day. I told him, I was like, look, dude, you got to tutor me, because I fashion myself a pretty good writer, but Ed is exemplary. It's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, you can't get a better writer than Ed.
No,
he has absolutely mastered, like, and this isn't not like, it's kind of interesting because he has a lot of really interesting things to say about like masculinity, male female dynamics, boxing. Obviously talks about sobriety, but he also is like, for anyone who has any kind of online business, or any kind of personal brand or anything, like you could be a writer, you could be a teacher, you could be an investor, you could be a crypto guy, like. You should read Ed's books.
He is the man, dude.
Because he will teach you the art of Twitter.
He is
incredibly good at it.
He is very, very good at Twitter, man. And it helps that he's a wordsmith too. So that's why I'm glad he's going to be there for sure.
Yeah. Moving on down this list, we've got Kendall Kirkland, who I'm not familiar with, but we've got obviously the big man Myron Gaines.
Yes, sir.
In the house. He'll be a big draw card in the hometown of Miami.
Just real quick, Kendall Kirkland, he is the star of season 3 of Temptation Island. And yeah. So I was doing my breakdowns, and he actually reached out to me on Instagram, and we became good friends. And so now he's coming to the conference. So I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent. Obviously, Modern Life Dating in the house as well.
Yes, sir.
All the way over from Tokyo, Japan.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing I'm really looking forward to is just having all these guys in the city at the same time.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. Really.
No, we're gonna have a good time. Coach EO as well, and then we've got Minister Jap, Terrence Pop, who I've got a lot of respect for. Terrence, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like I met him last year when we did the CME.
Yep.
And that's a guy who really, really cares about men's mental health.
He really does, man. He's a good dude. He really, really is.
Yeah. This handsome motherfucker on the left here, our guy Troy Francis again, coming all the way from England.
Yeah, man. I'm actually going on with him at the top of the hour. So
excellent, fantastic.
Yep, making
we got Mr. Boa, again, a guy I'm not really familiar with.
Yep, Book of Deuteronomy. He does the 6 with me.
Ah, nice. I am familiar with Mr. Lucario there. I've been doing a lot of collaborations with Mr. Lucario. That's going to be. It's going to be my first time actually meeting Lucario in person, so that's going to be fun.
He's also a very, very, very good dude, man.
Fresh Prince CEO, obviously, in there with Myron as well. George Bruno being the MC for the whole thing.
Yep.
Kevin Savo and Red Pill Thor. This is going to be a hell of a lineup, man.
Yeah, man. It's an all-star lineup, and the reason why I was able to pull this off is because of my relationships with him. And please pardon my voice. I'm at the back end of getting over a cold here. But the reason why I was able to put together this all-star lineup, it wasn't easy, but I didn't get too many turndowns, is because of my relationships with people. I don't burn my bridges. Anyone out there who has a problem anyone out there who has a problem with me or has a differing opinion, it's, you know, I'm not worried about that. I mean, not all of us think and talk the same, but I'm of the mind that if you build good, solid relationships with like-minded men, you can put this kind of stuff together. So very, very much looking forward to meeting. I think I've met everyone on this list. I have met in person, in the flesh. So it's good to have that distinction as well.
Yeah, man. And that's one of my favorite things about the space is as much, you know, fun as it is to collaborate online and things like that. But finally getting the chance, because when I did this last year, it was my first chance to meet a whole bunch of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun.
It's nice to actually be around these guys who you've worked with, you've collabed with, you know, you've shared ideas with, you've bounced back and forth with for so long.
Oh yeah.
To really sort of solidify that relationship in person, it makes a massive difference, man.
It's so cool, man. It's one thing for people to see their favorite content creators on one screen at the same time. It's quite another to see them in the same place at the same time, to see all of us, you know, arm in arm, you know, having each other's backs. The one thing that I didn't do last year, and it wasn't really much of a regret, but it's one thing that just kind of slipped my mind, is that I didn't get a group picture with everybody. I did not get a group picture. So I got to make sure I get a group picture with everybody this time. Because we failed to do that last time. But other than that, last year was massively successful. It was massively stressful, but we got through it. And this year, this CME I mean, listen, it's always going to have its challenges, but this one, I believe, is, I don't want to say easier, but I think we know a little bit more about what we're doing. So I'm not allowing myself to get nickeled and dimed by the casinos and the hotels this time. I'll tell you that.
Well, good. I want it to be a success just as much as you do, my man.
Oh, of course.
So what, maybe give people like a kind of a rundown of like what exactly is going to be going on during these 4 days.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what I will do is I will, if you'll give me access to show my screen here, what I'll do is I'll play this first trailer here. And this is the reason why I started the CME in the first place. So let me know if you guys can hear this. All right. Oh, yeah, sure can. There's a major crisis in the RP community.
It's not masculinity.
It's not a lack of intelligence.
It's not money.
And it's not fitness.
It's friendly fire.
We've turned on each other. You see, over the last few years, men in this community have declared war on one another.
Men are slandering each other,
making personal information public,
and even doxing each other.
This is flat out wrong. The world does not care about men.
It doesn't value our intellect.
It couldn't care less about our plight.
And it sure as hell doesn't care about what we contribute.
So this community was created to give men a place to go for help.
Help with money,
fitness,
help with how to be a true gentleman,
dealing with life as a veteran,
taking their place as head of household,
and even assistance with coping with divorce.
And for a few years, things were awesome.
Men banded together to help one another.
We were thriving. We were making real progress.
But something changed along the way.
Our egos somehow got the better of us.
We've become envious of one another.
We started throwing around wild accusations.
We started calling each other grifters,
doing hit pieces on one another.
And eventually, the message was lost.
Gentlemen, we are no longer a unified community. Every other week, there's a petty disagreement.
This creator falling out with that creator.
And he copied me. Oh, he disrespected me. I said that first. He started charges for his products?
He's a fraud.
He should do a response video.
This ends right here
and right now.
I wish I could have had you here for this, man. Welcome to the Conference of Masculine Excellence. This event will serve as a new beginning for our community. We are going to show men the true meaning of masculinity.
We'll discuss the importance of family and fatherhood.
We'll talk about fitness, and why it's the cornerstone of every man's foundation.
We will discuss how to deal with things like PTSD and depression.
We'll teach you the importance of financial shrewdness.
We'll talk about how to avoid the wrong type of women,
how to select the right woman,
how to strengthen your mind,
and much, much more.
Yeah, we will talk about sex and relationships.
That's a given.
but we're focusing on becoming a complete man.
A man that is strong physically,
mentally,
and spiritually.
Yes, most of us found this community because of women.
And hey, man, it was a few women for me.
What are y'all talking about, man? I'm undefeated.
Shit, I'm not. I've taken a lot more L's than W's.
All right, let me stop the cap. I've taken plenty of L's.
but many of us understand that it's not all about women.
In fact, it's quite the opposite.
This doesn't mean we don't want women.
Because trust me, we most certainly do.
But we're going to show you why it's important to follow the advice of the Godfather himself, Rollo Tomasi.
And that is to make yourself your own mental point of origin.
None of us are perfect.
Far from it.
Yes, we have all made mistakes in life.
We have all made bad decisions. We've all had our hearts broken.
We've all been broke.
We've all been through some shit.
But our goal is to teach you how to avoid these pitfalls so that you can become the very best version of yourself.
Yes, we will have disagreements from time to time.
But in the end, we are all on the same team.
We're in this together as men. And this is how it starts.
Conference of Masculine Excellence will usher in a new era in this men's community. And from here on out, we're going to do things differently.
No more infighting.
No more friendly fire.
No more hit pieces.
No more response videos.
And no more public feuds.
If we have a disagreement, we handle it behind the scenes, man to man.
The way it's supposed to be done. And it's as simple as that.
Now more than ever, men need each other.
In the end, we are much stronger united than divided.
So join us to revive a once thriving men's community that focuses on its original purpose, helping men to become the very best versions of themselves. Thank you.
Get
Oh, wait a
your
minute.
CME tickets today at masculineexcellence.com/sterling.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there is your entire speaker lineup right there. Myself, Myron Gaines, Ed Lattimore, Troy Francis, Book of Alpharotomy, Lucario, Pop, and so on and so forth. The reason I wanted to play that is to give people one of my two whys. The first why, in terms of the reason I decided to do this conference, is because there is a lot of infighting. It appears that, and I've talked about this before on many other platforms, and you've been around long enough to remember when most of our detractors, Sterling, were women. It was just women, and you got to shut these guys down, and this and that. It was feminist, and Jezebel writing pieces on us, Vice, BuzzFeed, all that. To me, those were the good old days. Unfortunately, now women don't have to come after us anymore because we're cannibalizing ourselves. And a lot of people want to know, well, why is there so much infighting in the quote unquote manosphere? That's obvious. It's money. There are some people who do this. Now, I do this for the money. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell everyone that nobody works for free. And I don't think anyone should expect anyone to work for free. If you want quality content, you want quality events, it's going to cost you money. We fork over the money up front and we pitch you guys hoping that we can get some sort of return on our investment. And listen, I expected to take a loss on last year's CME simply because it was the first one. I think I took like a $75,000 loss. Don't cry for me. Don't feel sorry for me. It was a great success. I don't think I'll break even on this one. I think I'll probably lose maybe 10 or 15,000, just kind of depending upon what the numbers do. Either way, it's a labor. It's a labor of love for me. And I know eventually these will start to profit and put money in my pocket, which is the intent. I'm not going to run away from the fact that I do this for the money. The other reason I do this is to help men, just like I said in the trailer, to become the best versions of themselves. So to answer your question before I play the trailer, what's going to be happening these 4 days? We're going to be putting out the schedule here very, very soon. But what we really want to focus on this time is men networking with one another. I'm sure you probably get a lot of emails, a lot of comments, Sterling, I mean, I live in XYZ country or I live in XYZ city and I can't find any other red pill guys out there. And I always suggest, hey, when we're doing these lives, do like a location shout out. Hey man, tell us what your age is, where you're from. Oh, you're in Miami? Well, I'm in Miami. Oh, you're in Brickell? All right, well, I'm in Wynwood. Or hey, you're in Minneapolis? I'm in St. Paul. This is how you build communities of like-minded men. Well, the CME is going to do that. The only difference is it's actually going to be live, and they can network with guys like us. And so I think the most important relationships that any man can have is with other men. Other men who are striving to live life on their own terms, and really that's what the CME is all about. Yeah, we're gonna have the VIP cigar bar. We're gonna have the Feast of Champions. There are gonna be speeches. There are gonna be panels. But all in all, I want this to be a fellowship of men who all want to head in the same direction.
Man, and it's kind of interesting for me because I kind of came into this. I've only been in this space
not too long.
Yeah, like a couple of years now, man. And and when I came into it, there was kind of already all this beef and infighting and stuff, and it's you see it online. You see people coming after you. You see people coming after Rollo. You see people coming after Myron Gaines. You see people coming after everybody, and I've never really understood that. I mean, it's like personally, I don't. As far as I'm aware, no one really has a beef with me.
Right,
but I don't. Like, I can completely disagree with somebody.
Sure.
But I'll still sit down and talk to them. As long as they're respectful.
Of course.
As long as they're, and I just did a live stream with John from Modern Life Dating, and I've got you on now. And there's been a couple of comments in the chat from like blatant trolls coming in.
Oh yeah, I don't look at comments anymore.
in the chat, and it's like if somebody was to drop a reasonable question in the chat right now, maybe, like saying, oh, why would you collab with this person? Why would you collab with that person? I would happily answer it. But if someone comes in with a comment, it's like, oh, this guy's a fat balding pedophile or some shit. I'm like, okay, well, you're not coming from a place of like,
you're not attacking the
dialogue, man.
It's all
so, like,
man.
Anybody, and it's like, okay, well, I personally don't understand if I disagree with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody doesn't have like as much credentials as somebody else, like real world credentials or experience as somebody else. Like, they can still have a valid opinion. They can still make a point. They can still be like for example, like someone like Aaron Clary can still come in, for example, and completely, like, Aaron Clary isn't a player. We all know Aaron Clary isn't a player.
Of course.
But he can come in and he can make a genuine statistical analysis of like male and female populations in the West and give guys an actual breakdown of like statistics and dating and stuff like that, which is a useful
numbers.
Yeah, you can run the numbers. Like, everyone in this space has some value to offer people, and the good part is when we actually disagree with each other.
Yes,
because that's how you come to like new understandings and new conclusions. When we can actually sit there and kind of butt heads respectfully.
Yeah,
that's when you get the best out of this entire space. That's what men are supposed to do.
Yes,
like we did this back in Rome. Like, this has been the Western tradition for so long. Like, open debate, and it doesn't start with like slander and doxing. It starts with respect. So you have to start with that before you can actually progress and get anywhere. I don't really see the point in, take down videos and exposés and these kinds of things. It's
I see the point. Listen, even though I've been on the short end of the stick in terms of hit pieces and people talking stuff, it doesn't make any sense to guys like us. But this is really simple. It's not complicated at all. The people who are coming after me were involved with one product. Okay. There was an individual who had a product. I participated in that product. I decided, you know what? I've got good relationships with guys. I'd like to do my own product. So rather than the person who had their product saying, okay, let me see how I can collaborate with this guy, or maybe even have like a friendly competition, like a collaborative competition, rather than competing and doing things the right way, they would sooner just, slander me, make hit pieces. And, it's interesting. all these it's now years now, all these years of people talking trash about me. I don't read the comments anymore. It's just not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to bring negativity into my life, but no one can tell me that I'm wrong about what I'm talking about. People can disagree with certain elements, but as far as my dealings with people in the manosphere, as far as the value that I bring, the products that I have, the products that I sell, no one who is talking trash about me says Donovan does not know what he's talking about. Donovan is not who he says he is. Donovan does not bring value. No, all it is Donovan lied about his girlfriend's age. Donovan's girlfriend is fat and ugly and old. Donovan is fat and ugly and old, and blah, 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 blah. And as far as I'm concerned, anyone who buys into that and uses a hit piece without really knowing who I am as a person as a referendum on my overall character, there's nothing I can do about that. I can talk until I'm blue in the face, be like, hey guys, like 99% of the stuff that's being said about me is not true. But people are lazy. They don't want to really do the research. They'd rather just see something one time. And if it's negative, they really want to jump on it. To me, that doesn't mean they're bad people. That's the human condition. So it's taken me a long time to realize that there's really nothing you can do about it from a consumer perspective. I'm not out here to change anybody's mind about who I am. My track record speaks for itself. If you want to judge my 8+ years of contribution in this community by one maniac's desire to get me shut down so that he can be the only game in town, that's fine, but there's nothing I can do for you. But if you want to use common sense and logic, if you want to improve your life, I'm more than happy to have you. That's the way I see it.
And the way I kind of judge people in this community is it's like basically two things. Like, what's your intent, and what results do you get for guys? Like, are you helping guys to get better in some way? Are you helping them to, improve their fitness, improve their relationship with women? Are you helping them improve their finances? Are you helping them improve their mentality and their outlook and their perspective on the world? And then what is that your intent? Is your intent to make guys help men? If that's your intent, then good. I'm like, I'll sit down and I'll talk to you and I'll help and I'll collab. And I've collaborated. It's funny, man, because when I did the CME last year with you in Vegas, there was a couple of guys at that conference. One of them would be Zach would be one that springs to mind.
Oh yeah, Zach,
who's kind of religious, right? He's a father, like a married Christian father, right? And then you've got me, philandering,
who's definitely not,
right? But we can sit down and have a reasoned discussion and conversation and come to and find where we agree on things and find where our values align. And I've had similar conversations with a couple of content creators through Twitter and stuff who are very like anti-porn guys, who are like basically want to shut down the porn industry and stuff. And I've sat down with them and had very reasoned, respectful, rational conversations where we can agree on things.
Yes.
Doesn't mean we have to be exactly the same. There's people kind of try to come at this community from like a dogmatic approch of like, he's my guru and everything he says is 100% correct and everyone else is wrong. It's like, I personally like the Bruce Lee way of things, like the whole Jeet Kune Do approach. Like, take what works for you from different sources, man. Like, take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, a little bit from over there. And then you can come to a place where you have an understanding, your own unique perspective and approach that will allow you to actually have some success in life and improve and get over these problems that you have, rather than coming at it from, a real dogmatic approach.
Yeah. I think one thing people need to, and most people aren't going to do this, but anytime there's a hit piece out on someone, people always say this: you have to follow the money. You have to really understand. You have to really ask yourself, okay, this person said that about that person. To what end? Why are they doing this? And listen, one thing that I love about our community, Sterling, is that people in this community aren't stupid. They're not. Those who have good, common, logical sense, who think about things fairly, they're very genuine in their mindset. Those are the guys that we want. It's to me, to me, you have to look at intent. Most people aren't going to look at intent. Another thing I would tell you is that there are many content creators the world over, and there are a lot of female content creators who are very sex positive. Like Shan Booty happens to be one of these, and I don't have a problem with Shan Booty at all. It's just that you have to look at the audience. Is Shan Booty's life sustainable? Is it sustainable for the average rank and file American woman to sleep around in their 20s and then settle down for the nice guy in their 30s? In theory, it works, but women are starting to figure out that it doesn't work that way. Either that, or they're just trying to fight biology. Then you look at people who follow guys like us. No one who follows me, no one who takes my advice comes to me later and says, Donovan, I took your advice and my life is worse. No, never. And that, to me, that's the difference. Is the advice, is the content, your favorite content creators, are they benefiting you? Now, some content creators just want to entertain, and that's fine. We all need entertainment. But what we really have to ask ourselves, you have to take stock and say, okay, I've been following this guy for 6 months, 2 years, whatever the case may be. Is it sustainable to do what he is teaching me to do? If you believe the answer is yes, by all means, keep watching, keep consuming. If the answer is no, at some point, maybe you've graduated on to somebody else. But you really, really have to look, and I agree with you 100%, Sterling. Intent is everything. And and a lot of people are just looking at what people say and do. They're not stopping and asking, wait a minute, why is this person doing this? And at that point, you can make a judgment for yourself.
Yeah. Because I'm friends with a whole bunch of people.
Oh yeah,
who have beef with each other.
Yes,
this is the funny part of I'm in this weird situation, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man.
Like a perfect example would be someone like Andrew Tate, and then guys like Ryan Stone or John from Modern Life Dating. Like, I'm friends with all of these guys, and they have, like, you know, their little conflicts or beefs or whatever.
Now, I did not know that Andrew Tate had a problem with Ryan Stone at all. I didn't know that.
I mean, he jokes about him on Twitter and YouTube and stuff, and it's like, okay, like it's got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
This beef has any kind of beef or jokes or whatever between people has absolutely nothing to do with me. And I don't know why, but I found myself in this weird position, like kind of floating in the middle somewhere. Well, I'm totally able to be friends with people and like have them disagree with my other friends. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like I don't feel, because I don't look at it as like picking sides.
No.
You know, because it's like, as long as, like I said, going back to my original point, is like, as long as this person is trying to help men, I'm cool with it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, okay, maybe he doesn't have the same credentials as you. Maybe he takes a different approach to you. Maybe he's got a totally different opinion. Okay, cool. Let's look at where your students end up. Like, let's look at where the guys who follow your advice end up and see where the chips fall. Like, but again, going back to the intent, as long as you're trying to help dudes and you're not out there to hurt anyone, great. You know, we need more of that, because the world's against us, man. And it's like, why would you sit there and like bicker and bitch like a bunch of fucking schoolgirls?
Listen, I'll answer that question for you again. It's money. The reason why the guy who is coming after me is because he sees me as a threat to his bottom line. He has a convention and I have a conference. And in his mind, he's the only one that is allowed to have a convention. Well, clearly there are now there's now a conference and there's now a convention. That's why, see, again, this is why this guy's coming after me. He wants to besmirch me. He wants to discredit me to discourage people from coming to my event so that his event can be the only one. This is not complicated at all. And it's funny. The reason why it doesn't make sense to a guy like you, you're like, dude, like, if you have a product and somebody creates another product, just make a better product. That's just what men do. But when men act in such a way, instead of in sort of the rules of engagement, and of course, we all know that this person has flagged me, he's doxed me, he's got my channel taken down at least 2 times that I know of. It's very, very, he got my Twitter taken. I'm like, he's doing some very underhanded tactics to sort of get a leg up on this. Unfortunately for him, the more he does that, the quicker it requires me to adapt. Now I have my own platform. He can't cancel me on my own platform. The only platform that he can really cancel me on is YouTube. He's tried that, and he has not succeeded. And I'm in contact with my YouTube reps now to protect my channel from flagging and everything. So again, it is the lifestyle. You have to ask yourself, are you benefiting from what this guy has to offer? Yes, you heard about all this other stuff about him and how he did this and does that and blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Just understand, you have to look at intent. What is Donovan's intent? Is his intent to help people? The answer is yes. Now, some people would say, well, your intent is also to make money. Yes, my intent is to make money and a lot of it. This is called being in a capitalistic society. I am allowed to make a lot of money doing something that I love to do that also helps people. A lot of people, the reason why they have a problem with people like us making money doing this is because they can't fathom someone actually doing something to help others while also putting money in his pocket and making a good living. A lot of people can't really put those. Wait a minute. If you're making a lot of money, you should be doing something that you hate. And if you're not making money, then you should be doing something that you love, because usually passion projects don't pay anything. Yeah. No, we're fortunate. I get to do what I love to do and make a shitload of money doing it. And that's why we get a lot of hate.
Or they have the deluded belief that like only things that the only way to make money is to do wrong in the world. Like they look at corporate America, like they look at things like McDonald's, okay, that it delivers junk food to people, makes people fat. That's why they make money.
Absolutely.
They look at the correct way to look at making money is that it's a direct response to how much value you add into the world.
Right. There you go.
You add value to people's lives, like in any way, it's usually produces an exchange of value equal to money. That's why people pay for services. That's why people pay for goods. That's why Elon Musk makes money. That's why Jeff Bezos makes money. That's why Mark Zuckerberg makes money. They add some kind of value to the world and they get money in exchange for that. And it's like, it's at a certain point when being a quote unquote content creator, if you want to call it that,
influencer, or like whatever,
an influencer or someone who gives dudes advice, at a certain point, it goes from being like a passion project and a hobby to being a legitimate business.
Yes.
And it's like, I think one of the best pieces of advice I got, which sort of really changed my perspective on, because I used to consume it when I was a younger guy in my 20s. I used to consume a ton of YouTube content. That's how I learned a lot of stuff. I didn't have mentors.
Right.
Not that many. So the guys that I could find on YouTube who could teach me things became my mentors. You know, much in the same way that we, I guess, are now the mentors to a whole bunch of dudes.
Yeah. Yes.
And one of the biggest bits of advice I learned was like, produce more than you consume. If you want to actually be successful in life, if you want to make something of your life, you should be producing way more than you're consuming. You know, so
that is definitely me.
If I'm sitting there consuming like, 4 hours of YouTube a day or something, I should be pumping out 5 hours of YouTube content.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
And some people will kind of come at guys in this space if they sell a book or they sell a product or they sell a course or something. Like, oh, you're a grifter, you're a charlatan because you want to exchange value for people's money. It's like, wait a minute, like my time has value.
Yes.
No one is entitled to my time. No one's entitled to your time. No one's entitled to your time, the viewer, like for free if you don't voluntarily give it to them.
There you go.
So you are well within your right to charge whatever the hell you want, whatever you deem is worth your own damn time. And people are well within their right to pay it or not pay it. It's totally up to them. No one is sitting there like forcing you to fork over your money. No one's sitting there forcing you to watch my YouTube channel, for example. So it kind of baffles me when people come get kind of snarky and bitchy about that.
I really do think you're right. I think it's a mindset, Sterling. I think that and this is why most people are not entrepreneurs, Sterling. It's because, and this doesn't mean that there's a flaw in their personality. No. It's just a mental block. And dude, myself included, never in a million lifetimes would I have ever dreamed that I would make the most money I have ever made in my life doing the most enjoyable thing I've ever done in my life. That to me, that just wasn't possible. But the fact that it is, and I tell other people, listen, man, it is absolutely possible. Now, it takes a while to get here. I've been in this community now. This is my 9th year in the community. I've been in this community since 2014. It's taken time. I didn't really start making real money until 5 years in. 2019 is when I changed tax brackets. But to me, that's just part of the business. I used to pay close attention to a lot of the haters, but you get gray hairs paying attention to that, paying attention to that stuff. For me, it's all about positivity. I got that from MLD. I don't, this is why I don't read the comments. This is why I filter out my chat when I'm on people's podcast. I never read the chat because I can't filter anything out there. I do not want to expose myself to any more negativity than I have to. And so for me, it's all positive. And when somebody complains about you charging for your products, what they're doing is something that you said. They're simply not respecting your time. They're not respecting the time that it took to learn it. They're not respecting the time that it took to learn to teach it, and they're not respecting the time that it took to actually create it and put it online. Wait a minute, you're charging for your products? Nobody works for free, and neither do the people who complain about our products. What that says to me is that they want what we have for free, and nothing is free. Like, I'll give away a couple of free ebooks now and again, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to make money. I got to keep my lights on, man. I just can't. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this of my own. I'm not doing this just to be altruistic. And dude, this is the thing. Kevin Samuels actually told me this a long time ago. He's like, dude, you have 40-something thousand hours of free content on YouTube. He says you have paid back the universe for whatever wrong you have done. So anytime somebody complains about, oh, you're charging for this, you're charging for that, point them to the YouTube channel. There's plenty of free content all over YouTube. So I think it's a paradox that a lot of people don't really think about, but to me, I try not to give it too much thought because I'm just too goddamn busy.
Yeah, right. It's and that's the thing. That's my channel's the same, man. Like, there's so much free advice on this channel for guys anyone who wants to get better in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And I talk about female dynamics on here, of course, as well.
Right.
I try on it because I was that like young broke guy in his 20s who didn't know shit and wanted to learn. Like, so I know I've been in the exact same position as a lot of especially these younger guys have been in, where it's like, man, I can't afford this thing, but I really want to learn. I want to try and get better. So I give away like 90%.
Of course.
Completely for free.
Absolutely.
Just to try and help guys. But
it's more fun, dude. It is so much more fun to give stuff away because you get more of an interaction, you get more people. But at the end of the day, you gotta keep the lights on. Who is this guy? Andrew Pete. This is a great stream.
Andrew Pete says, hi guys, great stream. Huge thanks to Sterling Cooper for his speech at the last CME. Thank you very much, Andrew. I really appreciate that, my friend.
Absolutely. I could not. I remember texted you yesterday. I was like, yo, thank God my editor, my video editor decided to go through it. She sent me a message. She says, Donovan, Sterling Cooper's video. I stopped her. I said, don't even sweat it. I said, edit out whatever you have to edit out. Because I already knew what she was talking about. It was funny as hell, man. It was really, really funny. If you would, Andrew, if you would share your screen, allow me to share my screen again. These are the highlights from the last CME. Last year's CME was absolutely awesome. Take a look, guys.
We made it through the
I think that was one of my favorite nights. That night right there.
Money, if you think about it, does not exist. It is not real. Money is what you get to record and store your labor that you gave to someone else to do something you didn't want to do that they themselves didn't want to do themselves.
Opportunities come and they don't show up. People ask me, Hotel Jesus, how did you get to where you are? I showed up.
It's not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the fucking rain. Rest in peace to Greg Plitt. He said that, and that really resonated with me.
You ain't living what you say. So why should I?
You're going to walk away with something.
How can you find some peace within? How can you find some authenticity within who you are? And instead of living the person that you think YouTube wants you to be, or being the person you think your friends and family want you to be, why don't you create the man that you should be, and you know you can be, and the man you should have been the whole time?
We have, in the United States, we have 1 in 4 children who do not have a father in the home. That is over 18 million kids. Whether this is set up this way, we've been conditioned, it's the government, it's whatever we want to blame it on. We have the power to change that.
Fear and doubt starts getting in the way. You start questioning how people might judge you. You're judging yourself and all these arbitrary details that don't matter. Either you want to win or you want to be somebody's bitch. Those are just the facts of the matter.
You got to start having this inner dialogue. Is this the best move? Is this the most productive move? Will this make me more money if I do this? Less money?
It's peace, quiet, and freedom. Because that's what men really want. I mean, come on. We're very simple creatures. Value and authority. That's the sign of masculinity right there. That's it.
All right. And so, yeah, those are the main highlights from last year. That's powerful stuff, man. Shout out to Blake and his guy Andrew for putting that together, man. It really, really was a good time. It was good to meet you in person for the first time. I was like, wow, Sterling, you're taller than I thought you were.
Look, I like to surprise people.
Yeah, you do. And see, I haven't watched porn since I was like 37. So thank God I have not spanked the monkey to you. Oh my God, how could that be? Hey, Sterling, I love your work.
I think I've had a couple of interactions like that. The more like at these events I go to in person where I meet people who watch my YouTube and stuff. Inevitably, there's always one guy there who's like, "Yeah,
yeah,
I've ruined his night."
Yes.
It's popped up in the wrong video.
Yeah. So I guess to put a bow on this thing, man. The CME, like I said, I'm looking to do this thing annually. Next year, I might do it I might do 2 events next year. We'll see what happens. But if there are any men out there, who are, and pardon me for this eye stuff. I don't know what the hell's going off my eyes, but any man out there who thinks maybe you're missing something, you're looking for a tribe, you're looking for like-minded men to sort of lean on, in troubled waters, man. Along with that, the camaraderie, and I mean, listen, man, it's Miami, fast cars, pretty girls, good food. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that. So that's my CME pitch, man. And I'm glad that I appreciate you, coming on and speaking. And it was interesting. I remember you asked me, "Hey, where is it going to be this time?" I was like, "It's going to be in Miami." You're like, "Oh my God, I don't have to fly anywhere. I don't have to do anything." Well, I'm very, very glad that, that's definitely saving me a lot of money. So,
and you know what? I'm out here in Dubai right now, and I'm actually coming. I'm ending my time in Dubai just to go back to Miami for the CME for the week. While everyone's in town. So I'm working my schedule around it.
Good.
Just for you guys who want to come along and see everyone in person. So.
Absolutely. Sterling, thanks for having me on today, man. Is there anything else we need to add?
Real quickly, there's a question in the chat, which I always find this kind of question really interesting because I get this kind of question all the time from Elliot Slavic. Actually, first of all, what I will do is I'll say thank you very much for Alistair Ryan. Thank you for the super chat, my man.
Oh yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate that, my friend. And thank you very much, Stephen Carmichael, for the super chat as well. Much appreciated, sir. And was there another one down here? No. This one, yeah, it's from Elliot, so I get this question all the time, and I've done a whole video on this on my YouTube channel. So go check it out. Like just go through my videos, you'll find it, man. I have a long, in-depth response about this question. But the question is, Sterling, will you briefly explain how being bald has affected your interaction with women? Sorry. Will you explain how being bald has affected your interactions with women? Okay. It hasn't.
Of course.
I don't understand people's obsession with this question. I've been deliberately shaving my head since I was like 23.
Oh, okay. So you've started. Okay. All right.
Like I 23, 24. And I started it as a joke when I was bored. I was sailing. I was taking a boat down the Amazon River.
Yeah.
And that is boring as hell. If anyone has ever done that. You're on a boat for like 4 days and there's nothing to do. It's just the same river. It's slow as hell. There's nothing. It's just you're on a boat with like 6 other people, and that's about it for like 4 days with hammocks.
Oh, that sucks. Oh my god. Okay.
It wasn't as exotic as I thought it was going to be. So there was one guy on the boat had like a pair of buzz clippers, and I was like, shave my head.
Give me that.
It's something to do. And I liked the way my head looked. So I was like, all right, let's keep doing it. Bang. And I knew my dad has like my dad's got a receding hairline. My brother's got a receding hairline. I'm like, I'm going to go bald eventually. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just friggin' like work with it. And I look better bald.
Yes.
So it hasn't. How has it affected my interactions with women? It's made them better because I've found a style that works for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Could you imagine Jason Statham without the male pattern baldness?
Exactly.
Right? Like I could not imagine Jason Statham with a head full of hair. Clearly, that is the statistical anomaly. He's Jason fucking Statham. But
this is a lie, Henry F. jumping in here. Hollywood says bald is ugly. No, it doesn't. The Rock, Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to go on?
Oh my God, yeah.
The Rock was voted like the sexiest man like a few years ago.
And he's got his dome. I mean, dude, you could fry eggs on that damn thing.
Like, I don't know. I don't understand guys' insecurity around, like, okay, if you got a weird shaped head, cool. If you had like long, luscious locks like your whole life, and then
all of a sudden you look like a child predator. Yeah, right.
But I kind of get like where that would be coming from. But for most dudes, like most guys will look fine bald. Like,
I'm one of these people, man. Listen, now, of course, my advantage is that I'm black, and all black dudes look fine when they're bald. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Might be joining the shiny head gang soon.
Hey, man. Hey, look, I'm actually starting to go. It's interesting. I'm starting. My father has a head full of hair, but I'm starting to go a little bit thin. Where most men go thin. I'm not tripping at all because I look great bald. I mean, as a matter of fact, that'll save me a hell of a lot of trouble. But yeah, I think the reason why there's so much insecurity around men going bald is because anytime women fire back at our community, they always say, well, yeah, you're going bald. That's why you're bald. And herein lies the difference between men and women. And I'll end it with this. Men, the things that we hold women accountable for are things that they have control over. We want women with a low notch count. They have control over that. We want women who are in shape. They have control over that. We want women who are feminine. They have control over that. We want women who are not bitchy. They're cooperative, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the things that women disqualify men for are things that we don't have control of. Well, he's balding and he's short. Now, we can sit here and bitch and moan about what's fair and what's not. Is it fair that women judge us based on things that we don't have control over? No, but that's the way it is. So, and I remember
I personally never had a woman give a shit about my hair.
Right, dude, me neither. And a lot of guys will say, well, Sterling, that's you and Donovan. You guys have had sex with many, many women. And I understand that. And I know this is going to sound like Tony Robbins-ish, Saturday morning cartoon. It will only affect you negatively if you let it. And dude, if you're going bald, see what you look like. Shave your head off and see what it looks like, man. I mean, you know what I mean? I wasn't balding when I started shaving my head. I just did it just to see if I could do it. I look great with no hair. It's a lot less maintenance. All I got to do is really, mess with the beard. So as I got older, it's funny, when I was younger, I had more hair up here than down here, but I turned, my 30s, it's sort of reversed. Now I've got more down here than I have up here, but that's, it is what it is.
I always got told the sort of mantra I always was taught was like, you have a choice. You can either You can either be bald or balding.
Ooh,
bald looks way better than balding.
Oh my god,
like
dude!
If you got the widow's, I got the widow's peak, man.
There you go.
I ain't doing shit about that.
So I can't imagine you with any other hair pattern. Like if you were to go get like hair transplants and had like this thick full head hair, I'd be like Sterling, dude. You want to go back?
I used to have hair down to my shoulders when I was in
no shit.
Yeah.
Rock star Sterling. Guns N' Roses Sterling.
But anyway, I digress on the topic. So if you guys are interested in jumping into the Conference of Masculine Excellence,
yes,
you also have virtual tickets as well, which we didn't talk about. But if you guys can't actually attend in person, you can get a virtual ticket as well.
That's right.
You get to see all the presentations live as well.
Yeah,
but obviously, live is where the real magic happens. So
absolutely. Yeah, we understand. That that a lot of people can't make it down to Miami for a fraction of the cost. You can watch everything, live on your phone. And we'll give you, I think we're going to give people access to all the speeches, our virtual speech, I think for like 30 or 60 days or something like that. So yeah, if just because you can't make it down to the CME does not mean you can't enjoy the CME. So looking forward to that as well.
All right, man. Thank you once again for coming on, Donovan.
Absolutely, Sterling. Thanks for having me on, man. I'll see you in Miami.
All right.
All right. Take care.